I've often said it doesn't matter how, but it doesn't matter how, but how many thing kind of goes away when there's a trophy on the line. But I do think the how of it all is really going to be a fascinating thing to look at when we're talking about different storylines in the NFL going beyond this game. So I wanted to look today at like what this Super Bowl is going to mean to the NFL, I think, going forward. And not just like revenue wise or anything like that, but in terms of how teams are built and everything. And I think the first one is obvious. It's that this quarterback obsession at the top of the draft is not slowing down. I've said, Raider fan here, I feel like the Raiders should trade the Mendoza pick, try to load up on some draft capital, build out a foundation, and then still gonna be bad next year. Go out, get that quarterback next year, and you'll be on your way to putting together a strong, solid foundation of a championship level football team. And so this game kind of goes against all of that, right? Because the Patriots weren't ready to have a Drake May under my rule, right? They built a bit of a foundation, but still, like, they had an offensive line that they had to put Jacoby Brissett out there for so that they wouldn't kill the kid. But they still drafted him, and he has still been that level of a difference maker for these teams. And so you are going to get the combination of coach and quarterback, obviously very important. And maybe that combination is more important than any other combination in sports at this particular time. But to now have like it right here in this Super Bowl where a team got it right very quickly and turned it around really, really quickly, too quickly for most of us, I think that really does show and is going to be an example for teams to draft the Mendoza and still. And this is honestly, it's a flaw in the way that I think about some of these things where I still, and this part isn't going to change for me, I don't think. I still think it's better to have the foundation set and then bring the quarterback in than to reach on a quarterback. Now, if the Raiders think Mendoza is the best player in the draft, then you take him and you figure the rest of it out. And that's where the Patriots are at. I didn't think they were ready for the quarterback, but they took Drake May at 3. And after that, you still get to draft. It like the rookie year isn't the be all end all. We're seeing it's pretty important in the player's development, but it's not the be all end all. You have to keep adding pieces, and you can keep adding pieces, and that's what the Patriots have done. So for me, it along the way, it has been get that foundation, and when it's ready, get the quarterback. The Patriots have shown, and they've done a good job with it because other teams haven't, and Sam Darnold, where he came from, I think is a good example of it, where you get the quarterback, the work's not done now. It's not, okay, success, baby, we got this. It is a constant, daily focus on how can we make him better and how can we make our football team better. And the Patriots did that phenomenally well. On the Seattle side, I think for both of these teams and the rest of the NFL, and this is something we've seen for a little bit, the whole defense wins championships things, that's certainly back. The Patriots, while Drake May has been awesome, the Patriots are in this spot because their defense is solid. And May has been very good. But the Seahawks are definitely in this spot because their defense is one of the best in the National Football League, and Darnold has been able to take it over in certain games after that. So there's going to be, I think, a real focus on the defensive side of the football again. I think this is a draft that will help with that as well. So I think this, like, I don't know if we're going to have major changes there on the defensive side, that everyone's going to get a lot more defensive focused or anything. But I think this is, again, a reminder that we focus on the quarterbacks a lot. It's not just those guys who are doing it. Around this, I was also thinking of like, the great legacy debates and everything like that. This isn't really one of those, right? Like Sam Darnold, I don't think all of a sudden it's like, hey, maybe Sam Darnold was a Hall of Famer after all. That's not going to be the conversation coming out of this. I think the one that could change reputationally where he is at, and we all view him as like one of the better guys of this era, but Cooper Kupp, he and Matthew Stafford ended up winning that Super Bowl for the Rams a few years ago. If Kupp is a big part of this game again, now we're getting into not just like one of the better ones of his era, but now we're getting into like some all-time stuff here. So I think you have a player in Cooper Kupp who could really affect his legacy if he has just an absolute ballin' out weekend at the Super Bowl and is a big part of another closing drive, then we talk about like most clutch players of all time, this, that, and the other thing. So I think there's some interesting conversations that could come up if Cooper Kupp has that big week. But what about you guys? What are the big stories and what are some of the big lessons that you could take away from the NFL season as we get ready for the Super Bowl? I want to hear those in the chat, or if you're watching after the fact, let me know in the comments. And if you're watching this and you're like, wait a minute, after the fact, I'm watching this right now. It's YouTube. Isn't every video after the fact? Which technically, fair point. But we do stream these live on multiple different platforms on twitch.tv/primetimepk, kick.com/primetimepk, and youtube.com/@couchpotato diary. Streaming these live. Our next live stream on all three is going to be tomorrow, and it is going to be at 10 a.m. We are going to Mountain Time, I should say. 10 a.m. Mountain Time is when we are going to be doing our next stream as we continue on with Super Bowl weekend. But also for the video game folks over on Twitch, going to be doing a WWE video game stream for a bit more of the wrestling conversation. That'll be happening at 4 o'clock Mountain Time today. So busy times as I make up for some lost time here around Couch Potato Diary.